Hey everyone, making another video. And this is more so how to come up with your commander and how to build a commander deck or get the idea of what you want your commander to really be. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining what you need to look out for and what key components are needed for a commander. Obviously, first thing is, are you playing competitive or not? If you're playing competitive or not, that's really going to be the difference. Competitive has tons of combos. Not people that don't have combos usually are the not so competitive decks. But it really depends on how competitive you want to be or not. I chose this deck even though it does have a lot of combos. It isn't a very competitive deck to me as of right now. I'm still building it. I might go into tournaments at some point, but in this deck, I had actually a split choice on using either Rise the Redeemed or Captain Sisay. And I was thinking of actually Rise the Redeemed before Captain Sisay because I didn't even realize Captain Sisay's color count, to be honest. But I really liked Rise the Redeemed. The amount of tokens that you can spam, and I was just playing a game, and I didn't even use Captain Sisay, my commander. I just used Rise the Redeemed, and the amount of tokens you can spam is awesome. You can even spam those tokens to create mana, to create even more tokens. Kind of loops, makes a couple of loops within itself, so it's very fun. But another reason why I did it too is because of the cards that you are able to use due to the legendary factor. So I can play cards like Iona or my favorite one, Avacyn. And I always want to try to get Avacyn in a EDH deck. Well, not in every EDH deck. Like my Slivers didn't really work. It doesn't really work with Slivers too much, but I just really like that card, and I really wanted to incorporate it in my next EDH deck, which ended up being this one. So, I wanted to also mention, if you're looking at building a commander deck, also try to think of the cards or the deck before you buy the cards, or another way that people don't really know and they're trying to build their first one. You can even go to deck lists on generals that you think are really cool, or you can look up a whole bunch of the commanders to see which one you really like, and you can base it off that. Another one is, obviously, you can go through your old cards or whatever cards you have and see which one you like a lot too. But a thing to be very careful on, and this is why I bring up Iona, is you also got to remember that there is hate for specific cards. Iona is a card that many EDH players hate. So you're going to have to think of it this way. If you are willing to receive the hate, and you're going to receive tougher games, then okay. Now, if you're brand new, you may not want to be starting out with a sliver deck. Take it from me personally, you probably do not want to. It's not fun when you first start playing. You have to spend a lot of money to be able to get those good cards, and it takes a really long time. Another thing is using cards like Iona in decks. They're going to also gang up on you. Now, in this deck, I don't actually use Iona very much, so people get very surprised when they're like, oh, Iona's a new deck. And they typically don't remember. That's just the style that I play. The Paradox engine is what they remember, and that's what they're more worried about. Another thing too is multiple win conditions. As many win conditions as you can get in a deck is how your deck's going to survive. If you let's say this deck is, oh, all I use is Paradox Engine and just do this and that and this. Well, what happens when Paradox Engine is gone? Well, I have a plan B, which is why I use Elves, and use Rise to Redeem. Let's say Captain Sisay, something happens to Captain Sisay. Well, I have a whole bunch of legendaries, and I get all my mana and whatnot, and I'm able to pretty much keep myself at least alive or go down with a fight. And that's really where this deck really shines, is the old style of being very aggressive and having big creatures and going down with a fight. So it can hold itself on very many different reasons on why you should build a very well-rounded deck, but also consistency is the key. You got to be very consistent, and if you aren't very consistent, there are issues that will happen. So let's say I'm gonna just take these cards into a different area. Let's say that these two cards, you play them, okay? Or you can even put in Paradox Engine or anything else, any other combo or whatnot. How are you going to be able to get this out consistently? Well, for me, consistently, I can get out Rise to Redeem as soon as I get Captain Sisay out the next turn, obviously, because it doesn't have haste. But that is a consistency factor that I can get it out knowingly turn 2, 3, 4, or 5. And it is so nice to be able to have the chance of getting this out no matter what hand you have. You can have Rise to Redeem now, and I can get that out even turn 1. And it is a lot of fun getting that card out on turn 1. Even if I don't get quite the land drop that I want, I have so many creatures that are low cost that produce mana. It doesn't matter many times. All I need is just a couple, like 1 or 2 basic lands. So the key main for this gameplay for EDH is consistency, and if you do not have consistency, it is not going to work out well. So anyways, I want to make sure that I got the basis on all of these tips for Commander, since I'm getting back into Commander, how to build a deck, key essentials to know, and I think I touched base on all of them. But if I forgot something, let me know in the comments, and I'll maybe make another video later on that is more in depth than the video that I made for today. Anyways, hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.